Smoke free. Big top 40. Big top 40. Big top 40.
Welcome, I'm your host Ericcism, and today we will be counting down the top 40 best trains in Stepford County Railway. Will the Class 801 take the number one spot again, or could the 158 claim the title of best train as it has been remodelled since I last did this countdown? Maybe the new entry Class 777 could make number one before it's even released to the public. Let me know by calling 0118 340 2478 or use the chat and comment sections of this video. If there are any trains you didn't see on this list, they are probably either not good enough or are too similar to another train that is on this list. So now that you know everything, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's get started. Starting us off at number 40 is the 397, but specifically the 397 on Airlink. Now this train, not only is it fictional, it looks awful. I mean, the model itself is very high standard, just like the rest of the trains on this list, but it just looks really bad with the yellow front and doesn't suit the operator at all. Next, in number 39, we've got the Class 331. Now, civities in general are an awful train family, in my opinion, with the exception of the 196 and 197, which are not in Stepford County Railway, but particularly the 331 is worse than the 195 as it is not available on Waterline. The models themselves are good, the interior is fairly accurate, though it is not one of my favourites. In number 38 we have the Class 350. This train, frequent viewers of the channel will know, the model is okay, but it's not even that accurate, to be honest. It's much too square at the front, though the interior is pretty accurate. Number 37 we have the Class 345. Now in real life I love this train. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's fast, it's underground, it's got free Wi-Fi, but in Stepford it has none of those. It is not fast, and it is not underground, and it does not have free Wi-Fi. This train is quite poorly modelled compared to the rest. It's still much better than other games, but I must say, the front is terrible. I mean, the black front really does kind of ruin it. It looks pretty much the same as the Class 701 paper model, which was on Waterline a while back. It really isn't great. The only reason it's above the 350 is because I like this train in real life. Next, number 36 is the 195, basically the 331 but on diesel. Now, this train is also available on Waterline, so that's why it's slightly higher up, and the Waterline variant is actually very nice compared to the Connect one. Again, pretty accurate, just not a big fan of the train in real life. Next, number 35, the Class 332. It's a nice model, but it's not very accurate. Something's off about it. It feels too round. I don't know, it just doesn't. I just don't really like the train. I've also never seen any of these in real life nor been on one, so it doesn't really have a place in my heart or in my brain at all. So yeah, don't really care about this one. Next, number 34 is the Class 68. Now, this one is a pretty unique train because it requires experience to unlock, and it is a very nice model. I like its unique livery, I like the little silver handlebars on the side. The interior is very nice. It's the only train to have these seats. These seats were specially modelled for this train. A lot of detail was put in, but the fact it's only 3 coaches really lets it down here. Next is the Class 68 at number 33. This is also a Chiltern Railways train, just like the 68, and also ends in 68, funnily enough. However, I very rarely use this train, and although the model is good, pretty accurate stuff, I'm just not a big fan. Next is the 185. Love this train in real life, been on it a couple times, but it's just not my go-to train when I'm playing Stepford, to be honest. The model's alright. I don't know, there is something off about it. Maybe it's too bright, maybe it's too yellow, but apart from that there's not much else to say. It's an okay model, but I don't know, it just doesn't really fit Stepford in my opinion. Next we got number 31 is the Class 360. Now this train is much better on Airlink than it is on Connect, even though Connect does have a special livery to celebrate 10 million visits? 50 million visits, I'm being told by the studio. There is a 50 million visits livery on this train, which is pretty nice. Not my go-to train, as Airlink isn't really my favourite operator, and Connect has many trains that are better than this. Now the 379 isn't a bad model, though the front again is a little too bright. It's also not fully yellow. They did mess that up in my opinion. Electro Stars are normally more yellow at the front. I also don't think this train suits Waterline very much. It is definitely my least used train in probably the whole game. 377 is the next train, and I like these in real life and I've been on them multiple times. And in SCR I just don't really like it. There are, like I said, it's a case of there are many trains better than this that I'd pick over it, so I don't end up driving it very much. Also, the front is even less yellow than the 379s, but the train is longer and I think it suits Connect routes more, so that's what's put it up ahead. Next, in number 28, we got the 397 on Express. Now, this train is more accurate to the real life, and it's not a fictional variant. But something about this train I just don't really like very much. I'm not sure what it is, but there we go. It's a number 28. Next, at number 27, is the HST.
Now, the HST is this low because, one, it's much too yellow. I don't like this variant of the HST. I prefer the ones they had on Cross Country. And the horn's alright, but when you're fast accelerating, that sound is piercing my ears. Not very good, not very good. The model itself is great, but slam doors do not open and close by themselves. Like, literally, watch this, chat. No one is here, chat. No one is here, right? Now watch this, I'm gonna close the doors. And magically, out of nowhere, the door locked by itself. I mean, what the Sigma even is that?
Next, we got the 802 in number 26. Now, the 802 on Airlink. That's because I love the model. It's pretty accurate with the yellow front, but I do not like it on Airlink. It does not suit Airlink, and you will not change my mind. Next is the 357 in number 25. The 357, as many of you know, is the default train in Stepford County Railway, so you'll be seeing a lot of these out on the network if you're out and about. I really do like this model, but I don't know, it's just maybe the fact that I've seen it so many times makes it slightly less appealing. Next, on number 24, we've got the 143 Pacer train. I do really like this train, but it is too yellow once again. I think this is becoming a recurring theme. Some of these trains are just a bit too yellow, and something about this model, it's slightly lower quality, even than the 357 that was put before this, but I just like this one a little more. In number 23 is the Class 730. Now, this one isn't in service in real life very much at the moment, and I'm not a big fan of it. It's basically just a 720 that looks a little worse, in my opinion, so 23 is the deserved spot for this train. However, it is better modelled than the Pacer, which puts it in front. Next, number 22 is the 390. Now, this one has stirred some controversies. It is probably the biggest drama that SCR has had since the demise of Charlie, which was very sad. I'm still mourning to this day. But the 390's model isn't really that good either, especially after I compared it to real life and Train Simulator. It's really not that great, so I do understand why some people may be mad at the Game Pass price. The train itself isn't awful, like I said, but it is not accurate. On the inside, it's fine, and they did something. Next, in number 21, to round off this next 10 will be the 755. Now, I really do like this model, and I have been on a 755 before as well. And let's just say it is pretty accurate. Not only that, but the model itself is very highly detailed compared to some of the other ones. So it's pretty good for a Roblox game. Number 20. 319 is at number 20. Now, the 319 is one of the older units, but in Stepford it was recently refurbished, and it does look pretty accurate to real life, despite what Potato Lemon says. Now, these sounds may not be great, but I do like this one quite a lot in real life and in games, so number 20 it goes, making it into the top 50%, only just. Number 19 is the 365. Now, though the sounds may not be great, it is a very good model, despite it replacing the 465, which is clearly superior. The 365 is pretty good, as it once was my favourite operator to ever exist. Tell me in the comments if you can guess what I'm talking about. Next, number 18 is the 220/221. Initially, I was going to give these two separate places, but they are essentially the same train, as they both don't tilt. The only difference that the 220 may be slightly better since it does have extra routes, but the model in general is pretty accurate. The sounds aren't awful, and it doesn't smell as it does in real life. So next we got number 17 is the 717. That's a lot of 1s and 7s there. But this is a to Zero City train. It is the longest connect train, the third cheapest. So you may be seeing this one a lot, though I don't personally see it that much in the public server. The model is very good, and the cab is very good, and everything about it is very good, but I think I don't drive this one that often because most of the time I forget it exists. Next, in number 16 is the 313. Now, the 313 is a very good train, also a very old one. In fact, so old it's been retired in real life, but the model is pretty accurate, and I like it. Number 15 is the 321. Now, the 321 is also very old, and it's also been retired in real life, but that doesn't prevent it from being an accurate and well-modeled model, I must say. The sounds may not be amazing, but that does not put me off one bit. Next, number 14 is the 458 Variant 0. Yes, I called it the Variant 0. No one else does that. Sue me. The point is that this is a very good train. It goes fast. The sounds may be a little annoying, but they are definitely not ear-splitting like Gavin Z Beats music is. Next, number 13 is the same train, but this time it's Variant 5, because I like this one a lot more. The interior is much cooler. Now, these won't be around for very long, so get driving. In number 12 is another Southwestern train, the Class 444, far superior to the 350 with its single doors and its third rail capabilities. Very nice, very nice. Next, number 11 is the 387, very good train, very good train, very good train, very good train. The Class 387 is at number 11. Now, this is because it's probably the most accurate of all the Electro Stars, and it suits the routes very well. I use this one a lot, and especially the double variant are very nice for the airport routes. Probably also the highest Airlink train on the list. Now we're into the last 10, the top 10 trains. Now for these I'll probably talk about them for a bit longer. Let's start. Number 10 is the Class 170. The Class 170 is a very nice model, though I did like it when it had an all yellow front. This one is equally as good. The inside is very accurate, along with the cab, and the sounds are pretty good too. Very good train, also like it in real life. It has a lot of variants too, and this placement includes the 171, as that one is also very nice indeed. You can also do the Morganstown shuttle with that one, so it's very worth your money. Next, at number 9 is the 156. The 156 is a very nicely modelled train. It has an exclusive route, which does make it worth it, though it is a little pricey. The model itself, like I said, is very nice and pretty accurate, if I say so myself. Next, in number 8 is the Class 385. Now, this train is in use in Scotland in real life. Pretty fast train. It's a very good model. It is the coolest thing you've ever seen. The front, very nice. The cab, very nice. Interior, very accurate. I think I would give that 5 stars. But I'll also give 5 stars to the next train, number 7, the 166. Now, this one was my local train for a very long time, and this is why it's probably this high up. However, as of recently, this train got a remodel, and let me say, this is probably the most accurate model in the whole game. This might be biased, but I do think I am right when I say this. I mean, take a look. This side by side, the real life and the Stepford County Railway, I must say that is some crazy stuff. Next, number 6 is the Class 801. Now, this answers our question. 801 did not make it to the number 1 spot, but it is still a very good train. It got a sound upgrade recently, and it has a longer variant with the Game Pass. Pretty cool stuff. Next, in number 5 is the 158. Very good model, probably the next best model after the 166, but I do drive this one a lot more often as it is on Connect. It suits a lot of the Connect routes, as the 158s do operate pretty much across the whole country, and it does have a lot of variants too. Number 4 is the 720. Now, the 720 model does suffer from too much yellow, but the inside is pretty good, the sound's alright, and in general I just like this model quite a lot. I've only been on a 720 a few times, but that isn't stopping me from using this train. Next, number 3 is the 777. That's right, it hasn't even been released yet, but it's already made the top 3. Now, this is because this train really does look really good on the sneak peek. The attention to detail on the model is pretty crazy. If you can see it on that low resolution of a picture, then we know this model is going to be good. I mean, another side-by-side comparison here, between the 777 and the 777 in real life. This resemblance is crazy. I mean, it's exactly the same, it's just if the Merseyrail train was painted red, it's literally the exact same. I mean, if we get more trains of this quality, this list will be changing a lot very soon. At number 2 we have the 707, probably an unpopular opinion, but I do like the Zero Cities, and this is probably the best one of them. It's pretty accurate, and it gives us a good taste of what the 707s could have looked like if SWR kept them. This also suits a lot of the routes, in my opinion, and I use this one a lot despite its status as a noob train, as it is the second cheapest. So, the moment you've all been waiting for, what is the number 1 train? Now, there are a few I haven't said yet, so it could be any of them, right? There could be any of them. So, right now, tell me in the comments what you think is number 1. Now, I'm going to reveal it. Number 1 is the Class 800. Yes, the Class 800 has beaten the Class 801, and that is because it has more routes. Now, the reason I have put these separately is for that reason. The Class 800 is a lot better than the 801. There are also some slightly different arrangements with first class and sounds, so that also, Class 800 is a very accurate model. The sounds maybe not as much, but they are still very close compared to some of the other trains on this list. And like I said, it also has variants in the longer trains Game Pass, which the interior is also very accurate. The whole thing is pretty accurate and also modelled to a high standard, as it has been remodelled recently. So, that's my top 40 of trains. Now feel free to shout at me about my opinion in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.